Let's discuss. Hey everyone, it's Rachel back again with another video, and today is a very exciting day because there is a new track from A Dozen Black Roses called By Means Of Catastrophe. I love this band. I got into them really last year when I went to go see Distinguisher, R.I.P. Orthodox was on the tour, and at this date that I was at, they randomly came out as a surprise set and played 2 songs. After that, I went. They had just released the EP, or recently within the last couple of months released the EP, so I was running that like crazy afterwards. They also have a 3-track EP from, I believe it's 2018, called Mental Threshold. Their discography is just fantastic. So if you haven't heard of this band, definitely check out the other stuff that exists in their discography. I will link the music video I'll be using for the new song in this video in the description. Other than that, I'm going to stop talking and we are going to get straight into it. Oh. That echo. Oh. No. That right there was what they used in the teaser.
You will take a pose and learn to know that there is nothing to keep you safe.
Oh. You got them snare bombs? Yeah, you do. You are. A Dozen Black Roses by Means of Catastrophe. Let's discuss. So I feel very excited for whatever this band will do. Of course, never trying to rush anyone on putting out music or making music, but one of those bands where when you see them, like when I saw the teaser for this, I was so unreasonably excited, and this did not disappoint me in the slightest, which I feel would have been a bit easy to do with how excited I was. But when you listen to their discography and you listen to a track like Haunting Display. That song, I think, really showcases what this band is capable of doing, as does this one. So this one will really be able to compete with that for me, which was not an expectation that I wanted to put out there at all, because I love that song so much. It's one of those that I've put on and listened to, 30 times in a row and not gotten sick of, only like loved it a bit more. I think they're able to really express some of that, the frustration in the lyrics when you read the approach there and some of the topics that they're touching on with this stuff, the way that they're able to like sonically match that, whether it be through Austin, who sounds extremely just angry in this track, but then when you get the stuff that adds a bit of contrast to that, like the singing, it feels like a different form of expression on that same message, if that makes sense, rather than like something that, sometimes you'll get a song where there are screams that feel like one voice and then some singing that feels like a different perspective or something, that it adds something different, but this feels like it drills on or like harps on that same sort of emotion or string while sounding so different. So I find that really interesting. There's a lot here for me to love, including in the drumming, some of the kicks, where I had mentioned those snare bombs towards the end of the song. But it just sounds really well put together. You get some really beautiful riffing in here as well. I think it was the part where it's like right before it says, nothing will keep you safe. It's like nothing will, something like that. I've heard the song one time, so I'm not exactly brushed up on the lyrics, but some of the guitar in there, it's just so pretty sounding, and I think that really kind of is exactly what I'm talking about with the singing on this song. It sort of drives in that same direction, if that makes sense. The end of the song, bringing in that aggression, I feel like you can hear those, with the singing and stuff, you can hear that in their discography, but to like top it off with that big ending breakdown, having the drop in there with, I would talk way too frequently probably on the channel about fuck drops. This will absolutely go into that playlist that I'm talking about that has all my favorites. I've always been into that sort of drop. I mean, obviously, as anything I talk about like this, when done well, can't be just like thrown sounding bad and be like, oh yeah, because it's like this will go into the playlist. But in something like this, it just feels like that, like the tension that builds up to that point, just like a release for it, if that makes sense. It's something in like that delivery, that the amount of aggression and stuff. I've talked about it with my Face Yourself videos too, because they had some call outs this year that, while I feel like this is a much different approach than something like, fuck around and find out as a breakdown, I feel like they're vaguely related. You can use it in a different way to like something like this, where it feels more like, an expression of frustration or something like that, but there are just so many different flavors that can be used in, and I'm always looking for some sort of way it's expressed to add to that playlist without just adding every single one, but this one feels very justified. So anyway, the end of the song being tough as hell, having so much more to offer than that. This could easily be a band that just goes super heavy and doesn't really add in those really beautiful moments that sort of drive that same message like I'm talking about. I'm sort of getting a little wordy here, so we will wrap it up. But I just love them. Everything that they're doing goes onto my playlist immediately, and I know that this will be another one of those songs where I like wake up in the morning and the first thing I want to put on, or one of the first things I want to put on will be this track for a good while. With the EP, it's been probably like a good 6, maybe more months of me listening to it weekly, and that's a good amount. It doesn't sound like that much really, but I'm listening to music all the time. I'm trying to go back to stuff I've always loved, listen to all the new stuff, make videos, so it's just may not be as expressive as I want it to be. Anyway, now that I've used so many words, I will link the music video, all the band's social media, any promotional links, merch, all of that in the description of this video. Make sure you go check them out and give them some love if you enjoyed this. I feel like they deserve a lot more traction than they've got so far. This video right now has like barely over 100 views, I think, so that should be rising. I hope they deserve it for sure, so make sure you go give them some love. Other than that, you can also find my link tree in the description. That will have everything that you may need related to my channel, including the Discord server invite link, my Patreon link, Twitch, which Patreon, I do monthly live streams. I make playlists for tier 3 that I update every month. I will put blocked content on there, which I've been dealing with some of that with Sleep Token and stuff. I usually will put polls on there for the Twitch streams, which I am delaying that just a little bit. I'm going to be returning to the old background setup stuff that I had, not the exact same background, but like the camera, the PC I had, and I'll have a lot less issues with streaming and my CPU and stuff, so blah blah blah. Twitch, if you want to follow it for when I do start getting back into the lives on a weekly basis, I'll be doing a few before I move, but anyway, that will be there. The Discord server is where the community is based for my YouTube channel. We've got a lot of really lovely people in there, music lovers, music-related conversation unrelated to music as well. So if you're interested in joining, checking that out, that will be there. As always, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it.